PKI, public key infrastructure, a system that uses asymmetric and symmetric encryption, as well as hashing, to provide and manage digital certificates. It ensures secure communication by keeping the private key secret. North Bridge, a chip in a computer motherboard that connects the CPU, RAM, video memory, and South Bridge. It manages the flow of data between the CPU and RAM. Demarc, point of demarcation, POD, where the ISP, Internet Service Provider, terminates their phone/internet lines and your network begins. Twofish, symmetric block cipher encryption algorithm that uses Feistel structure. It operates on 128-bit blocks of data and supports key lengths of 128, 192, or 256 bits. It is considered secure. Polyinstantiation, an alternative fax technique that creates multiple instances of the same file or data set, each with different views of the information based on the user's clearance level. Cryptanalysis, the study of breaking cryptographic systems to access the content of encrypted messages without the knowledge of the cryptographic key. It uses mathematical analysis of the cryptographic algorithm and side-channel attacks that exploit weaknesses in the implementation of cryptographic algorithms and the devices that run them. Motion detectors, devices used to detect motion and trigger an alarm or alert. They can be light-based, microwave-based, or infrared-based. Digraph attack, a cryptanalytic technique that targets common pairs of letters or characters, digraphs, to decrypt ciphertext. Hash functions, one-way hash functions used for integrity to produce a fixed length value hash or message digest from variable length plaintext. They are used to prove that the integrity of data has not changed. Hybrid encryption, a method of encryption that combines the use of symmetric and asymmetric encryption. Asymmetric encryption is used to securely share a symmetric key, which is then used for the actual data transfer due to its speed and higher security. North Bridge, the part of a computer motherboard that connects the CPU, GPU, RAM, and other high-speed devices to each other and to the South Bridge. One-time pad, a cryptographic algorithm that uses a random key to combine with plaintext, creating ciphertext that is mathematically unbreakable if implemented correctly. Spartan Skittily, a historical encryption technique used by the ancient Greeks that involved writing a message lengthwise on a long, thin piece of parchment wrapped around a stick of a certain diameter. Clark-Wilson, a security model based on the principle of integrity, which separates end users from back-end data using well-formed transactions and separation of duties. This model uses subject/program/object relationships. Slab to slab refers to a construction requirement for data center walls, where the walls should extend from the real floor to the real ceiling, without any subflooring or subceiling. UPSs, uninterruptible power supplies, devices that provide constant clean power to the systems and have large battery banks that take over in the event of a power outage. They also act as surge protectors. Turnstiles, mechanical gates with arms that allow one person at a time to pass through in a controlled manner. South Bridge, a chipset that is part of the computer's motherboard and is responsible for controlling the communication between the CPU and other peripherals, such as hard drives, USB ports, and other devices. Fence, a physical barrier that is designed to prevent unauthorized access to a property. Control unit, CU, part of the CPU that manages the flow of data within the processor, including fetching instructions from memory and executing them. Clipper chip, a chipset developed by the U.S. National Security Agency, NSA, that was used for encryption and had a built-in backdoor. It used the skipjack encryption algorithm. Asymmetric encryption, a type of encryption that uses two keys, a public key for encrypting data and a private key for decrypting it. RSA is an example of asymmetric encryption. Keys, a piece of information used to encrypt or decrypt data in a cryptographic system. In asymmetric encryption, two keys are used, a public key and a private key, while in symmetric encryption, only one key is used for both encryption and decryption. Symmetric encryption, a type of encryption that uses the same key for both encrypting and decrypting data. 3-day, RC6, and Twofish are examples of symmetric encryption algorithms. IPsec, a set of protocols used to provide security for Internet Protocol, IP, communication, typically used for virtual private network, VPN, connections. Permutation, a mathematical concept that involves rearranging the elements of a set in a specific order. Trojan, a type of malware that is disguised as a legitimate program or file, often used to gain unauthorized access to a computer system. Turnstiles, a type of gate that allows only one person at a time to pass through, typically used as a security measure in buildings or public transportation systems. Halon, a type of fire suppression agent that was commonly used in the past, but has been phased out due to its negative impact on the environment and human health. Mantraps, a type of physical security device that restricts access to a secure area by only allowing one person to pass through at a time. Bollards, a type of physical barrier used to block vehicle access to a specific area while allowing pedestrian access. Safety, the state of being free from harm or danger. In the context of the question, it refers to prioritizing the safety of people over material possessions or equipment in emergency situations. Plaintext, the original message before it is encrypted. Ciphertext, the encrypted message produced after applying an encryption algorithm to the plaintext.